there's a really large picture of what unhealthy behaviors in a relationship and unhealthy behaviors around sex look like. Can we identify those?
When you're on campus, you see all kinds of things that you wouldn't imagine, like people that are in relationships, maybe somebody gets pulled and you're like, wow, what do I do? Do I say something about that? Do I not say something about that?
If we were to walk outside right now and ask any person just walking around this campus, they would know someone who has experienced some combination of the issues that VAV works with.
It was involved in my life heavily, all of those things. I saw it a lot growing up, and I witnessed it. It was a part of my life. I didn't know how to deal with it. And VAV helped me learn how to cope with those issues.
The goal of Voices Against Violence is to educate, raise awareness, and provide support and advocacy around the issues of interpersonal violence.
Raise your hand if you've seen a Theater for Dialogue performance before. Great. Quite a few of you. That is great.
When I use the term theater for dialogue, I really mean a situation in which we are using the tools of theater to create opportunities for dialogue, for investigation, for bringing up different perspectives or viewpoints on an issue.
Voices Against Violence is a program of the Counseling and Mental Health Center. We work with the issues of interpersonal violence on campus, which includes relationship violence, sexual violence, and stalking. And some of those things will be present in our scenario today.
Something that's really important and special about VAV is that everybody in the audience is a participant as well.
A scenario is presented.
Adrian, hey, oh my gosh, I'm so glad we can make it out.
It's a very loose scenario, and in that, the audience becomes almost like a director.
As we're performing, the audience is allowed to say pause if they notice something that makes them feel uncomfortable or if they notice something that doesn't seem right.
So you're a sophomore, right? Everyone lives on campus their first couple years, so you must live in Jester.
Yeah, I do. Okay. So the conversation's going on a little further. What are we finding out?
They're able to really see how inappropriate or unhealthy behaviors develop, like maybe as they start small and build up.
So we kind of heard a little bit. There's like one person will want to raise their hand and say why they think that she knows.
Facebook
stalking. Yeah, so, you cruise around on Facebook and there's somebody you've kind of seen before, and check out and see what's going on with them. Is that something that's normal and realistic?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you've ever heard somebody say, oh yeah, that person's Facebook stalking me, or I'm Facebook stalking someone. If you've ever heard it, I'm not saying you've done it. If you've ever heard it, raise your hand. Like check people out on Facebook, right? Okay, and when we do that, I'll say we, when we do that, what are we looking for? Common interests, right? Things we have in common, and where might that go? So say then we see that person, how might we use that information?
I think the audience experience of a Theater for Dialogue performance really depends on what audience we're talking about. We perform for so many different groups, from groups around campus to other domestic violence agencies to incoming UT athletes. It really has kind of run the gamut.
Lynn says it a lot, and I would agree with it, that I think the biggest impact VAV has is on the students who are in the class and that are doing the work.
I'm working with students over the course of a year in a 2-semester class to train them in the issues so they really have a depth of understanding around these issues, but also in some interactive theater methods. The class is a maximum of 16 students, and they work together very closely all year on these really intense issues, and they become the face of Voices Against Violence on campus.
They're like great friends now. Like even outside of VAV, we hang out, we do stuff together.
There is no typical profile of who takes the Theater for Dialogue class. There are students who come from all over the university with different majors, natural sciences and social work and international business. They're coming from different places, but they also reflect our diverse student body.
The people in the class and the coordinators and the TAs, everybody is like family. It's been a huge change in my life. I feel like I'm really creating change on this campus and into the Austin community.
It's an exciting group because it's a group that in many respects is kind of like leading the way in this work.
Out of all the classes I've taken at UT, this has been by far the most influential class, and I think I've just benefited from this class more than anything else.
Being a part of VAV is being able to see change in action, and if you're into instant gratification like me, that's really cool.